she died. And I was so devastated. What's up, guys? You might see all this bullshit on my face because I'm doing like a little face mask type thing, but I figured I had a story to tell you guys because I'm full of stories. But one particular story kind of happened like recently, like within the last year or so. So if you guys want to go ahead and do me a favor and subscribe to my channel, go ahead and do that shit right now. My face is stiff as fuck, so I'm going to try to tell this story as, you know, as detailed but as straightforward as possible and shit, because it's pretty fucked up, I'm not gonna lie. So we all like dogs, right? I love dogs. My dream dog is a husky. So I was on an expenditure last year. I went on this big journey to go find me a husky, but I lived in an apartment, you know, like a small little, like, you know, cube looking apartment, maybe like 300 square feet, small as fuck, in Arizona. So I'm just like, man, I definitely can't have a husky out here, let alone put a big ass dog in that small of a space. So I'm like, why not compromise and get a Pomsky? So for those that don't know what Pomskys are, they're these adorable things. So yeah, I definitely was looking and stuff. They had a lot of them for sale. They have Pomsky breeders all over Arizona. But I'm like, I want to actually go to a legit place and get, you know, a dog. So I looked at this place called Animal Kingdom, right? I went to Animal Kingdom, and I guess they had a husky, a Pomeranian husky that looked exactly like a baby husky. It was a tiny little cute little thing. It had one light blue eye, one black eye, and it had all the husky colors. It had the little like husky, like white little eyebrow circle things like on the top of its like little face and everything. It was a black and white dog. Loved it. It was a tiny little cute little like 3-month-old pup, or I think it was like 4 months or whatever. But anyways, it had just gotten all of its shots and everything. So I was looking at it and I'm like, all right, cool. This dog looks pretty legit, I'm not gonna lie. But it was a little pricey for it because everybody wanted that dog. It was so fucking cute. So it was a girl, by the way. And I'm like, all right, cool. I, you know, got to play with the dog and stuff in the little room because like they're like, hey, cool, like if you're interested in this dog, like, you know, go ahead, like, you know, try it out, like go ahead, test it, you know, like not try out the dog, but like go ahead and play around with it and see if like if it warms up to you or whatever. So naturally the dog warmed up to me because I mean, who can't warm up to your boy, you feel me? So I'm sitting there playing with the dog and everything, and she seems like really cool and friendly. So I'm like, awesome, I'm gonna get her, you know. And so I basically went to the cash register, and like they didn't really have a price tag on her yet. So when they did pull up the price was a little pricey. It was like more than $3,000 pricey. But I'm like, hey, yo, it's worth it, so I don't give a fuck. I spent over $3,000 in this damn dog. And on top of that, I wound up buying like, you know, a leash for her, a kennel, food, water, a bowl, all the basic essentials for a puppy, you know. So I wanted to make her feel as comfortable as possible when she got to her new home. So naturally, I had the instinct to go ahead and do all that bullshit. So anyways, right, I take her home, or I'm driving her home and everything in her little kennel, and I'm like, you know, this is crazy. And I guess like my for those that don't know, I'm married actually. I have my little ring and stuff. So my wife and stuff, she's like, oh yeah, like I picked her up from work, and I'm like, hey, cool, I have the dog with me, whatever. It was pretty cool, right? But then like, I guess I kind of heard like, you know, because the dog was really shy. I didn't emphasize that enough. The dog was very shy. So I guess the dog was whimpering in the back, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I kept checking back to like make sure it was okay. But then it started like not like barking, but almost crying in a way. It was crying in the back. It was like, arr, 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 arr. And I'm like, oh, poor thing. So I looked back, and then I smelled something really foul. I'm like, what the fuck? So went back there, and I'm like, what the hell? Because we were like, mind you, like when I picked my wife up from work, we went to go get all of the essentials for the dog and stuff from like Walmart and everything. So on our way over there, before we got all of the stuff for the dog, like I smelled all this, like a pretty foul smell in the kennel, and I looked, and I'm like, what the heck? So I opened the kennel. We parked the car in the Walmart parking lot when we finally arrived, opened up the kennel, and there's shit all over the kennel, like diarrhea everywhere. It smelled rancid, bruh, like rancid. So I'm like, what the fuck? And like the dog is like shaking, and it's like, you know, like, oh, you know, whatever. And like it had shit all over its like paws and its back, because apparently when we were driving, while we had the kennel buckled in, right? But every time the car moved, the dog would kind of like slide, and like it was shitting, so it was sliding and its shit and rolling around. So I'm like, oh my God, that poor thing. So I took it out, we cleaned it off. Like I had like bottles of water and everything, so I cleaned it off and everything. I used like some shirts that I had in my trunk that I never wore or whatever, and I like cleaned the dog off, so it's good to go. And I took it with me, and I put it in a little like shopping cart thing that I was like, going to take inside, and like she calmed down. And so like, you know, I'm like taking her to the store, buying all these toys for her and stuff like that, and food and everything, right? And I'm like, all right, cool. She seems really cool. She seems really calm. She seems chill. So we got back in the car. We kind of like cleaned out her kennel really quick. And I'm like, you know, we probably shouldn't even put her in the kennel. We should clean it, you know, when we get to the house. So my wife held the dog. We drove to the apartment, and everything was great, right? I get to the apartment. I had, and by this time I had already set up all the stuff in the apartment, the water, the food, everything. I'm like, all right. I named her Sasha. I'm like, hey Sasha, come here, like, come get your food or whatever. And you know, she looked at me, and she kind of looked a little like shaky and stuff. And then I'm like, all right, she's probably shy. She probably doesn't want to be watched. So I walked away, and like, you know, I kind of like, I was watching her and stuff like that. And I saw her kind of waddle over and like look at the food and then walk away. And I'm like, all right, cool. So, mind you, at this time, it was about, because when I went to the Animal Kingdom, it was about like 6 p.m. All the events that happened were about like a combination of 4 hours. So at this point, it's like 10 something. So my wife went to bed at this point, and like I'm just chilling there, and I'm like, okay, like, you haven't eaten yet? Like, have they fed you already? I'm like, kind of, I want to say at least see you drink some water. So I waited around, and then around like midnight, Sasha walks over to her bowl. She drinks some water, and I'm like, awesome. So I like walk her back to her kennel. I'm like, all right, cool. Here you go. Sleep here, and it's awesome. So I had my puppy sleeping in the same room as me and my wife. And then like in the middle of the night, she started howling and barking and stuff. So I woke up and I tried to comfort her, but once again, she shit all over her kennel. So I have to like, I'm like, yo, this is really weird. Like, is she sick or something? Like, so I cleaned out her kennel. We bought dog pads and stuff, so we padded up her kennel this time, so it didn't get all over the kennel, it just got on the pad. So we changed the pads out. I washed her off, I gave her a mini bath, and she was like kind of freaked out about that. But then I'm like, all right, cool, let's go get some more water, like, come on. So she was waddling around, and she refused to drink water. Like, she looked, I don't know, kind of looked scared of it or something. And she was not hungry or anything. Like, she didn't even look at the food. I tried offering her dog treats too, because I got those, and she wasn't taking dog treats. So I'm like, there's something really weird about this. And bruh, I'll never forget this next part. I'm in the living room, right? And like, it's like early in the morning. It's like 2 in the morning, mind you. I barely got any sleep. Like, she started barking and stuff like that, which is fine. I was totally cool with it. I just wanted to make sure my dog was okay. So she like shit again, but this time there was like, it was like neon green, and there was blood in it. And I'm like, what the fuck? And like, I'm like, that's not natural, I don't think. Like, what the fuck? So I took a picture of it, and I'm like, this is really weird. So I cleaned it up, and it smelled horrible, by the way, like super horrible. Like, the whole house smelled like vomit and ammonia and death, like all in that, like whatever, in like it was like basically she was shitting bile in a way. So I'm like, fuck, that's terrible. So cleaned it up and everything, and then I'm like, and mind you, she had not drank or eaten anything, and I tried to force feed her water, tried to give her food, she wouldn't take any of it. So I remember one time she tried walking over to her bowl, and she drank all of her water randomly, all of her water. And I'm like, hey, good girl, whatever, good girl. Like, you finally, you know, drank your water and stuff. But literally, I'd say about 2 minutes after she drank all of her water, she puked all of it up, and blood. And I'm like, what? Oh my God. And I was so scared. I had no idea what to do. I'm like, I didn't do anything to this dog. Like, I was making sure I took care of it. I washed it. I tried to feed it. I got it like all of its favorite things, I thought, like, and like I was walking around and everything, and I'm like, oh my God, like, this is crazy. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna take it back to the pet store. So I put it in the kennel. I make sure that like she drinks more water before we leave. And I tried to feed her, but she wasn't eating. And we're driving. And I got to the Animal Kingdom place, and they're like, hey, like, what's wrong? And I'm like, yo, my dog, like, it's shitting blood. I showed them pictures and everything. And I'm like, you guys should have had all of its shots. You showed me this, like, what the fuck's going on? And like, oh, well, give the dog to us and we'll take care of it. I'm like, all right, cool, fine. Like, this is you guys' like, you know, mistakes, so go ahead and fix it. Give me my dog back, and we'll be good. I paid like, you know, over $3,000 for this dog, and this dog means everything to me. So please fix my fucking dog. So I leave, I go to work, and like while I'm working and stuff like that, I get a phone call, my phone's ringing, and it's from Animal Kingdom. And I'm like, awesome, they got my dog fixed, it's ready to go, cool. I have never felt so horrible in my life. Like, I will never forget that call. They're like, hello? I'm like, hi, this is James, like, what's up? And they're like, well, unfortunately, we regret to inform you that your dog passed over here. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? So what was supposed to happen is they were going to treat her at a facility up like 2 hours away from where I was living. I'm up in Phoenix because I was in Tucson. So they're going to transport her up to Tucson. But I guess during the transportation of her to Phoenix, she died. And I was so devastated. I'm like, oh my fucking God. I don't know, I did not handle it very well. I went home, I was kind of like sad, a little depressed, and I'm like, dude, like, I had this dog for like less than 48 hours. Like, what the fuck? And it was the exact dog I've always wanted. Like, it was just crazy, man. I'll never forget it. And yeah, man, like, my wife comforted me. She's like, hey, listen, it's fine, it'll be okay. It's unfortunate, and that's like shitty that they would, like, you know, do that, like sell you a dog that was like sick, and they basically kind of knew, and they tried to sell it to me as it, like, you know, as a brand new, like, healthy puppy and stuff like that. I was just so distraught. So fuck Animal Kingdom. Yeah, fucking sucks, dude. I was so upset, and then I called him. I'm like, yeah, I want my money back. Like, you guys, cause like, hey, listen, we understand you're feeling a little like upset right now, but we can give you another dog, any other dog you want, up to the amount that you paid for it. I'm like, no, give me my money back. And I thought that was about to be a problem because it seemed like they didn't want to give me my money back, but they did. They gave me the full amount because I was not going for any of that shit. And it was just a really shitty experience, man. I haven't bought a dog ever since. Like, I'm looking into getting another dog in the near future, but, you know, I don't know. Like, I kind of think of that moment. I just know now not to buy dogs from pet stores because of the whole puppy mill thing. Like, they put a bunch of puppies in one room together, and if one puppy gets sick, they all get sick. And it's a crazy epidemic. It sucks really bad. And, it just has a really bad impact on everybody else, and the dogs, like, their health is affected by other dogs' health, and it's whatever. So I basically had a shitty experience with that. And, you know, for those that don't have dogs and plan on getting your dog from somewhere, do not get it from a pet store. Please don't get it from a pet store, because they're more likely to have something, especially if they're a puppy. It's risky buying it from a pet store because they might have, like, you know, parvo is what my dog had. And they didn't let me know that at all. Like, like, by the time, like, I got my dog, it was at the tail end stages of parvo, and I had no idea that, I had no idea what parvo was or what the stages were, and it sucks. And basically, for those that don't know what parvo is, just a very brief summary. Parvo is basically like, it's like a stomach virus, but way more intense for a puppy that's fatal, and it can actually kill them. It dehydrates their body by, like, having them pee or piss or shit or diarrhea all over the place. And it basically dehydrates them to the point of death. And the only way to treat that is to put an IV in them, because they're not going to willingly drink a lot of water, or just provide them as many fluids as possible and monitor them constantly, because that's, like, very, very key. But yeah, guys, if you have any dog lovers here, please share this video, man. Like, Animal Kingdom needs to be exposed for what the fuck they did. If they said, like, honestly, pet stores in general, because I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that's had a pretty bad experience like that. I would recommend, if you guys do buy animals of any sort, especially dogs, get them from breeders, because breeders take more pride in their animals and stuff, and they're very well kept, and they're healthy for the most part, and they're like, they're in loving homes and stuff like that. So buying them from a breeder, they'll be 1,000 times healthier and happier than getting them from a pet store, and they're a lot cheaper too. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry to bring all that negativity your way, but I had to share it because it was kind of like a thought that was on my mind. And I'm like, man, R.I.P. Sasha, man, she was a good ass dog, even for like one day, and I didn't really get to fully know her, but hey, it sucks. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video or found it interesting, drop a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite dog is. If you guys have a dog, let me know what kind of dog you have, and your experience buying dogs, and like what you would recommend as far as where to buy dogs. I'm in Florida, by the way, so if you guys have any places or people that breed dogs or whatever, like, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace. Also, once again, excuse the face bullshit going on here. All right.